Hello students, lecture 121. In this video lecture, we'll discuss non-conventional sources of energy. Non-conventional means the energy resources which are not in our daily use conventionally, traditionally, socially and economically. Second is importance of these resources, importance of energy resources, and ways or the methods of conserving or saving, protecting these resources. So let us have a focus on some of the non-conventional sources of energy. The first one such energy resource is nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is obtained by changing the structure of an atom. When the structure of an atom is changed or altered, large amount of energy is released in the form of heat. This developed heat is utilized to generate electric power. Uranium and thorium are the raw materials which are used in atomic power stations. These minerals are available. Uranium and thorium are available or found in Jharkhand, Aravalli ranges of Rajasthan. These are the sites of these uranium and thorium, which are the source of raw material, which are these are called radioactive substances. So they are used in atomic power stations. Second is the solar energy. Solar energy, the energy trapped from the sun radiations or the sun heat. Photovoltaic technology is used to convert solar energy into electricity, or in simple terms we can say solar cells. Solar cells are used to convert solar energy into electricity. The largest solar plants of India are located at Madhapur near Bhuj in Gujarat. Solar energy holds great promises for future use. Villages are the potential areas of generating and use of these solar energy resources. Solar energy can help in minimizing the dependence on firewood and animal dung cakes in rural areas. So this will help in conservation of fossil fuels. On one hand, the dung is which is considered as the best biomanure, so it will help to produce more and more crops and better crops. Also, it will support in the reduction of controlling in the forest wood and cutting of forest wood and so on. Next one is the wind power. Wind power is another non-conventional source of energy. Its technology is known, but it is very costly and it is that's why it is called unviable technology. So the wind farm clusters are located in Tamil Nadu from Nagarcoil to Madurai, which is the largest cluster in India. Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat, Kerala, Maharashtra, all these are the coastal states. So in coastal areas where wind speed is high, these locations are ideally suitable for such wind clusters. And now India is also known as wind superpower in the world. So this is important for 1 mark. India is ranked as wind superpower in the world. Another non-conventional source of energy is biogas, or commonly called gobar gas. Biogas can be produced from shrubs, farm waste, animal waste, human waste, etc. It is more efficient than kerosene, dung cake and charcoal, because kerosene, dung cake and charcoal are the highly pollutants compared to the biogas. So biogas plant can be set up at municipality, cooperatives and individual levels. The gobar gas plants provide energy and also manure. Whatever is residue left after in the tank is used as manure. Next type of non-conventional source of energy is tidal energy from the ocean tides. Dams are built across inlets. Water flows into the inlet during high tides and get trapped. When the gate is closed, once the tide recedes or the tide goes down, the floodgates are opened so that water can flow back to the sea. And the flow of water, that backflow of water is used to run the turbines, and turbines are connected with the generators, and generators generate electricity. A 900 megawatt tidal energy plant is set up by the National Hydropower Corporation NHC in the Gulf of Kutch in Gujarat. And the last non-conventional source of energy is geothermal energy. Geo means earth, therm means heat. Means heat is emerging from the inner core of the earth through faults, traps, cracks and the vents. And this heat is means stored at the surface of the earth and is used to rotate turbine, that is called geothermal energy. Then there are two experimental power stations are set up in India. One is in the Parvati Valley near Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh, and second one is the Puga Valley in Ladakh. These are only two experimental stations. So here large amount of electricity is not generated because it involves other lot of risks, because there may be because it is uncontrolled heat from the undercore of the earth or from the underground of the earth. No one knows how much energy is that heat escapes and comes out. So it involves lot of risk. That's why they are called experimental stations and they are in use. Next is the importance of energy resources. Energy resources are important because they provide light and heat, they provide fuel for vehicles and run industries. Energy resources are important because the requirement it is the requirement for economic development. Every sector of national economy, primary, secondary and tertiary, needs greater inputs of energy at every level. Third, energy demand in the form of electricity are growing because increasing use of electrical gadgets and appliances is in most commonly in use. And the last article, that why do we need to conserve energy resources? Using more of public transport system instead of individual vehicles. This way we can save more and more energy. Use of public transport in place of public personal transport. Switching off electrical devices when not in use, using power saving devices 3-star, 5-star or so on. Next, using non-conventional source of energy in place of conventional source of energy such as solar energy, wind energy, etc. And getting the power equipment regulated and checked regularly to detect damage and leakage. There should not be any such fault or damage in them. This is how we can conserve, we can save energy. And there is a saying that energy saved is energy produced. So that's all for this video and from this chapter as well. So thank you very much. Keep on watching, reading and listening.